By all metrics, Colossus and Outcome Memory should be a completely beloved EXE, to both play and to go against. He is the standard brute. He does a lot of damage, with the trade-off that he's kind of the slowest EXE, barring a single mobility tool. He doesn't really have a crazy mode that gives him more HP or time, and is just a really great killer to turn off your brain and smack into a horde of survivors and just have a fun, goofy time. But I've seen a lot of people say that Colossus is a bad killer, and not in terms of his strength either. In terms of how he's balanced. You know, in my Fleetway video, people said they prefer going against iframe Ian over there compared to Gavin Grab, and I was left wondering why. Because unlike Fleetway, he does get rocked by some characters. Literally, Silver has a field day hitting his rocks against Colossus. But I think that Colossus is an interesting case study on a killer that is conceptually balanced, but is so punishing of mistakes on both your team's part and your own skill that he ends up being frustrating to play against because it leads to situations of, what could I have possibly done there? But Colossus can't be reasonably nerfed in those areas either. You would have a killer who just doesn't pose a reasonable threat against a large portion of the cast, especially with teamwork. This is why 2011X was given a rage mode, after all, in order to help him break through impeccable teamwork. If you liked the video, like it. If you dislike it, subscribe, and join my community Discord, and let's not waste any more time, and hop into the video. Oh my god, I'm so fucking cringe. Now, in order to see why Colossus really is the way that he is, we have to see his abilities. He really only has one passive. The ability to climb walls. Which is a thing that a lot of people complain about, and honestly, I can kind of see why. It is technically a passive mobility option that can kind of be compared to Fleetway's flight that has very little prerequisites. A lot of people say that the EXE only ladders compared to the climb pretty much anywhere else were healthier for the game in the disaster, and while I do agree, I also think that the way the game is made with characters like Silver, he just needs some sort of verticality. His mobility option outside of this, which we'll get into in a second, is finicky at times and can't really be used against a wall, or else Colossus will be heavily punished for it. His active abilities, though, are easily the ones that people hate the most. Let's take a look. Charge is a mobility and crowd control move that does 25 damage on a successful hit and 15 HP against a wall slam. During charge, he can maneuver really well unless it's gone too far, where he eventually loses control and runs until he slams into a wall or drops the survivor. If he slams into a wall, he does an extra 15 damage but is given higher end lag, and the survivor is ragdolled and then given a speed boost. This can be cancelled by counter, and if Colossus bumps into a wall before ramming into anyone else, he is slowed down a lot for a little bit. This move cannot kill on its own. Block is, well, a block. Similar to Knuckles' counter, if a melee type move hits it, Colossus will ragdoll the survivor and essentially get a free down on them, and if a long range stun hits him, he will throw a rock at them instead to deal 35 damage. He is given no end lag if he misses this, but generally cannot move during it. There is a bug that allows him to do that, but that is a bug, and therefore that does not count because that is not the developer's intended purpose. Indicator is the simplest move here. It shows you where everyone is, with the downside that you can't use any of your abilities during it, meaning that if a survivor is far away, Colossus has to work for his information to capitalize it, unlike some other killers that I know. No one complains about it really, because every killer kind of needs an indicator, or else it becomes a hide and seek game, and that's just not fun. No. Wait, no, please, have mercy! So, grab. This is the move that everyone and their mother hates, and the biggest reason why Colossus is considered no skill and no fun to play against. Unlike all of his other moves, this one is a kill confirm. Nothing wrong with that. Every killer has at least one. 2011X has charge, Tripwire has all three of her moves, and Fleetway can kill with all four of his. Colossus's grab is a simple move. He lunges forward, grabs you, roughs you up a little bit for 35 damage, and then drops you. It seems pretty simple. Until you realize that if you get grabbed at any HP under 90 HP, it is almost always a guaranteed down. Because there is one more thing that Colossus does at the end of that grab. He ragdolls you, which renders you completely unable to do anything and lets him get a free hit. And since Colossus does 55 damage per hit, 55 plus 35 is 90 HP. That's a lot of damage. God, that's a old meme. I'm old as fuck. Do people even, like, say memes anymore? I'm from an era where dank memes were, like, all the rage. So, grab is his worst defender. I think it's supposed to be, like, a kill confirm move, but because it doesn't have end lag, it also works as a combo starter for nasty and often unavoidable combos. You can go from 100 to 0 from a charge and grab combo, and since charge can grab you away from your team, this is the part where it can start falling into unfair territory. The solution just might be simple to you. Just give Colossus end lag on his grab and he'd be just fine. But that's not exactly true. Trust me, just play Colossus without grab plus M1 combo and you will see why. The thing about Colossus is he's very effectively walled out by a few characters, namely Knuckles, Blaze, Tails, and Metal, and since he has no stun resistance, he needs a way to get downs and kills quickly, or else he very quickly becomes a Metal and Knuckles Fury Punch victim. If you need an example, Tripwire. One problem with Colossus is that he's so strong in a one-on-one scenario 99 times out of 100, you just aren't escaping that one-on-one scenario alive, which is fine, killers should be strong, but it's to the point that it's frustrating because there's very little you could have realistically done. It's probably outside of Fleetway, I'd say Colossus has probably the most deadly last man standing because he has the ability to position you how he wants you with charge. You can't realistically get into good positioning against Colossus because he just puts you where he wants and then grabs you, drags you back, rinse and repeat until you die. And even if you do manage to get away, he has charge. Only like one move can outrun charge, by the way, and that's peel out, and that takes time to wind up. So you're up against a killer that does insane damage, can position you wherever the hell he wants you, and you realistically can't lose him or shake him in chase. That's why there's very few characters that actually stand a chance against a good Colossus in a last man standing. And now, not to say that you can't win. I've seen your comments, just because you have won an LMS against a Colossus does not mean it's balanced and or fair. And I say this as a Colossus main, right? I play Colossus religiously. He's my baby. There just isn't a lot that you can do to nerf Colossus without changing his kit entirely, and that's the dilemma of Colossus. Because, they tried that one time, and, it did not go over well, to say the least. This isn't really even to mention that a good bit of the maps and outcome memories really aren't the greatest for Colossus. A lot of his bad maps play on his inability to either go far or his big hitbox, which hurts his ability to charge. It really is only good on about half the maps, those being You Can't Run, Hill Gym, and Angel Island. Not Perfect, Green Hill, and Mystic Cave really are not all that ideal as Colossus, which is a shame because he's probably the most popular killer. And again, that's kind of where the dilemma of Colossus happens, right? Because he is really strong on a one-on-one scenario, but put him in a team of people, then he can very easily be walled off. So to say you have to nerf Colossus is single-minded, because that is only focusing on the survivor aspect of the game. You also have to focus on the killer aspect, and if you nerf Colossus, specifically his grab combos, then he becomes unrealistic to play, especially against a better team. Hell, Colossus can be walled off really easily right now against a better team anyway. All he really has going for him is the ability to down people very fast, along with having decent enough crowd control. But again, I implore you, try to play Colossus and wipe a good team without the grab M1 combo. You're not going to be able to do it. I'm telling you right now. Colossus is not balanced. Kind of. It's a type of balanced that wraps back to being kind of unbalanced, because without the crutch that is his grab, that he becomes so weak that you'd swear he's the worst killer in the game. I would love to change him, but as it stands, with his current kit and how the survivors are in outcome memories, you can't really change him, which is why a lot of the arguments that I see against Colossus I feel are pretty disingenuous in how they're presented, because they're only presented with the survivor side in mind. Did Colossus ruin outcome memories? I say no. But I do also think that some of his kit is unhealthy for the game as well. He's not quite Fleetway level bad, but he is very frustrating as a killer sometimes. Colossus is a case study on what happens when you crunch so hard on something that it just ends up making you hated for it. So, this is actually the end of the video. I don't know, I know you were like watching me through your head speakers while you were doing your dishes or whatever, but this is the end of the video. Remember, I say all of this as a Colossus main, so my merit, I have merit, trust. Anyway, if you liked the oh my god, I'm falling. Anyway, if you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Subscribe and join my community Discord, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.